In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, the Lord of all the worlds, to whom we belong, to whom is our return, and may His choicest blessings go to the highest of Allah's creation, our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the most generous in speech, the most gentle in companionship, indeed, the most eloquent ambassador for humanity at large. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I want to greet you again. Really, as speakers, we know sometimes when you're addressing an audience, we're not too sure whether we're at the graveyard or, we don't know. So really, sometimes we've forgotten how to smile. And you are volunteers, your smile should be the most beautiful smile. So I'm going to greet you again, and you greet me with a smile. Will you do that, inshallah? Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. And when you are ever have this opportunity to speak in public, and it can be quite a daunting experience. And there was this one incident of this person who got up to speak, and he was speaking, and slowly the crowd began to go away. But there was one person sitting in front who was showing a lot of emotion, and the speaker felt connected with him. He appreciated him. He says, you know what? He stayed for my talk, So the talk was over. He introduced himself to the person. He said, brother, I was very touched, and everyone is gone and you're still here, and you're listening to my speech with so much of emotion and so much of love. What was about my speech that was so compelling for you to stay here? He said, brother, I only stayed here because I'm the next speaker. So I know, alhamdulillah, at least I brought a smile to you. Right. I want to begin really by thanking you. Thanking you. Only Allah can reward you. Thanking you for giving people hope. Thanking you for bringing a smile to someone. Thanking you for uplifting humanity. You cannot imagine the world without volunteers. Some studies have shown there are perhaps over 140 million volunteers. You cannot envision what the world would be like. You cannot imagine when there are disasters, if there are no volunteers. There are earthquakes, there are wars, if there were no volunteers. And my thesis is, as Muslims, we are born to be volunteers. I recall the time in the earlier days when all parents demanded from the children that you go for a wedding, volunteer your service, help around. If there's a khatam in the mosque, you help around. That was the nature of service to humanity. Now, I started off by thanking you. Now, I went through one, I won't say poignant experience, but it left an indelible mark. Many years ago, when I was studying with a group of people in Durban, long before computers and everything else, there were a group of people that I was studying with. We were doing English 3 together. So I had written copious notes. And they said to me, we'd like your notes. I said, I also like it. And they said, why didn't you share it with us? I said, no problem. And I recall, it was a hot summer's day. We walked for quite a distance. At that time, photocopiers was a rare thing. We managed to go to the shop in Beater Street, MK Bobby Naidu, if you recall. And it took a long, long time for me to photocopy maybe 10 copies each of my notes. And at the end of it all, no one thanked me. No one thanked me. So I went to my flat and I had my flatmates there. So I spoke to one of them, and I'll mention his name because he educated me. His name is Ibrahim Sidat. He's got Sidat's pharmacy in Lenasia, opposite Jame Mosque. So I said to him, I used to call him Shorty, because he used to make a very brief appearance, if you know what I mean. So, and his height is only shortcoming he's got. He's a good guy. So anyway, I interacted with him, and I shared with him, it was like my frustration. In the heat, I did all of this and no one thanked me. So he asked me a question. It's a very, very powerful question, and I'll never, ever forget that. He said, Idris, did you help them to be thanked? Did you help them to be thanked? Why did you do it? Why did you do it? So I contradicted myself by thanking you. But it's true. As Muslims, we need to acknowledge people, to remind you of the beautiful things that you are doing. It is uplifting. You cannot quantify it. You cannot quantify the joy you bring to people. And what are the attributes of volunteers? Who are they? What are the qualities they possess? They have taqwa. They are altruistic. They are selfless. They are genial people who respond with alacrity whenever there is a crisis. They do it because they have realized, you have realized, alhamdulillah, you have realized that empires are built in the hearts of people. That empires are built not in the minds, but in the hearts of people. They have realized that. You have realized that. But it saddens me that in our present schooling system today, what is promoted is individualism. It's about your life. It's about me, myself, I. It's no more the collective. It's no more the humanity. The humanity you need to serve. Long as I am sleeping well, it's great stuff. Something happens in that household, it's not our home. My family is intact. Whenever there's a crisis, no father will say, no, lucky it was not my daughter. Lucky it was not my son. Because that child is your own child. He's your own son. And whilst, alhamdulillah, we celebrate what you are doing, it's very important to share with others your personal joy, to share with others so they too, inshallah, can develop compassion and caring. That they too, inshallah, can leave a legacy. That they too, that when they die, there is someone will say, Ya Allah, I was without a shelter, but they gave me shelter. Ya Allah, I was suicidal, but this person came to me. Ya Allah, I was despondent, Ya Allah. They were there by my side without asking me to return anything in kindness. And I always say this, it may sound a cliche, but I'll repeat it. I'll repeat it. That we as individuals sometimes do not realize, as well as you realize, that the ummah is fragmented, the ummah is bleeding. With Allah's mercy, I went to Turkey, Istanbul, and my host took me to a school in which that school, the head of the school and the government, to the magnanimity, opened the doors to the Syrian children. And they never use the word refugees there, neither they use the word migrants. They regard them as our own children. We went to each class, and in this class, these young boys, 7, 8 girls in other classes, Syrian teachers. Look at them. Innocent children. Who are these children? Some of us have forgotten. Some of us have forgotten. When Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the whole ummah is like one body. What affects one part should affect the rest of the body. But to behold the joy of these children, to hear them read the Quran, hear them recite nasheeds. And if I did not know who these children were, I would say these children look very happy. They were happy because they felt a sense of security. And all human beings, what do they want? They want three things. They want peace, food and shelter. We all want a sense of belonging. We all want to feel connected. We all want to feel engaged. We all want to feel a part of this wider humanity. So it is my earnest prayer, inshallah, and hope that you continue in what you are doing. Because please believe me, you're making a difference. As they say, you can only motivate one at a time. You can speak to thousands, but motivate one at a time. But the worst thing is this, that in helping someone, that we pray, we do not strip them of their dignity. That we do not have a condescending attitude, like I'm doing you a favor. Because in fact, they are doing you a favor. By volunteering, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, you have opened the road to Jannah. By volunteering, you are saying that I'm a human being, because we have learned to fly like a bird in the sky, swim like a fish in the sea, but we cannot walk like a human being on this earth. Man has landed on the moon, but he does not have the stamina to say hello to his neighbors. Really. And I'll say it again to you. Allah bless you. Your reward is only with Allah. Your reward is with Allah because He knows what's in your heart. Allah judges us by the effort and not the outcome. Allah judges us by the intention. Even if you lift up your hands, as I do sometimes, I say, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, our homes are burning in this country, Ya Allah. There is sadness in our homes, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, I hope I can help everyone. And I know Anisa, my sister, is sitting here, and others, as you are sitting. There are days when I feel, when I'm helping a number of families in one day, I feel sometimes I'll collapse and die. One day my nephew, I was sitting in the car. I said to him, you know what, Hamza, you drive me because I want to respond to my phone calls and people ask me for help. And he said to me, Idris, Uncle Idris, I worry about you. I said, why do you worry, Hamza? He said, you could get a heart attack and die listening to the problems. My words to him that day was, I would not mind dying to help people. We're all going to go. We all have to leave. No matter how young or old, death is not preserved for the aged or the sick. Allah will test those that He loves. So in my heart of hearts, I am emboldened by what you do. I am humbled by what Qari Siddhat does. Yesterday, when he went to the old age home, to see the smiles of these old ladies, a smile. You could not put value on those smiles. You cannot say anything else. You gave them dignity, Qari Sahib. And all of you give people dignity. And you know what? The true test The acid test is to give the dispossessed dignity. The acid test is to give that person who is ostracized dignity. The acid test is to give the homeless person dignity. The crucible is not giving someone that is well endowed dignity. It's affirming them. All of us want the 6 A's we want. What are the 6 A's? All of us want to be accepted. We all want acceptance. All want acceptance. And how do you give someone acceptance? When you look at them with the eye of love. All of us want to be appreciated. All of us want to be acknowledged. All of us want to be affirmed. All of us want affection. All of us want attention. And most importantly, all of us want positive attributes. And how do we give someone positive attributes? What do you do? Is when a person comes to you with a begging bowl, you say to him, brother, inshallah, you and I are going to walk on this journey together. And I have no doubt in my mind, inshallah, that you be true to your potential. That someday, inshallah, through this journey, you'll become a leader. Someday through this journey, you're going to make a difference to humanity at large. Yes, it is frightening out there. I want to end off by sharing with you an anecdote, a story that many of you may be familiar. There is a very famous story about a young boy and the starfish. I'm sure many of you have heard the story. One day, an elderly person was walking on the seashore, and there in the distance, you could see a young boy throwing something back into the sea. So what he saw piqued his interest. So he decided to engage the boy. He asked this young boy, "What are you doing?" So the young boy said that this starfish on the shore would die, so I'm throwing them back into the sea. But the old man said, "But there are thousands and thousands of starfish. How can you make a difference?" The young boy picked up one starfish. He threw that into the sea. He said, "You see, I made a difference to that starfish." When you make a difference to one person, you're making a difference to a generation of people. So may Allah bless you. May Allah protect you. May you continue to serve Allah. Then Allah will serve you. Jazakumullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.